Hi, I'm Dr. Joe Niamtu, LoveThatFace.com, and thanks for tuning in. I can't believe how many people we talk to every day around the world. If you're new to us, I do cosmetic facial surgery in Richmond, Virginia. I don't do boobs, bellies, and butts. I only do faces, okay? Facelift surgery, eyelid surgery are my favorite procedures. I do over 100 facelifts a year. Now, one of the big things that people want to know is, what am I going to look like with a facelift? What does a facelift exactly do? And, I mean, it's easy to do a computer morphing situation where you digitally show somebody what they're going to look like after surgery. But you know what? I don't believe in those at all. It's a cartoon. You could make me look like I have hair, and I just don't think that it's a really accurate predictor. So this video is going to show you some of the things that we do to show you what you'd look like with a face and neck lift. Now, one of the most common things is people come in and they're like, "Hey, Dr. Joe, I just need that. Just that little bit, okay? Right there." Well, they don't understand, to get that little bit, you actually have to do surgery. Now, a couple things. So a lot of people come in and they go like this. I just want to look like this, okay? And if you look at the picture there, that's not an accurate predictor. Plus, you really don't want to look like that, all right? And but when people come in and they have their hands more like this and say, "I want to look like this," okay, that's a more accurate predictor, because you can make somebody look like that. But how you pull that skin has everything to do with the final result. And when you see people that look crazy because they're pulled up this way, or their eyes and their mouth are pulled, it's really an inexperienced surgeon. So there's only two things that I have to do to be successful. Number one, I have to do safe surgery, okay? We have a fully accredited surgery center, full-time anesthesia staff, and I have the best staff in the world. And, safety is our prime concern. The second thing, and this sounds kind of selfish, but I like to look good, okay? And for me to look good, my patients have to look good. And what that means is I have to have safe surgery, I have to produce natural outcomes. Those are essential for success in facelift surgery. So that's what our goals are, that's what we strive for, and that's what we do. Now, another thing that people kind of don't understand is, again, what does a facelift really do? There's so much misinformation out there. So above the jawline, a facelift kind of does this, and I'm going to show you in another video here in a second. Below the jawline, it tightens the neck, and unfortunately, I'm a great example. So by laying a patient down, and again, you'll see this in a second in my video, and if you follow some of the discussion, I think it's a relatively accurate predictor for what somebody will look like. And again, when you do over 100 facelifts a year, you kind of get a feeling for what is natural and what's not natural in terms of showing somebody what they're going to look like, okay? And obviously, it's impossible to predict down to the last stitch, but an experienced surgeon ought to be able to show people what they're going to look like in a consultation, and nothing speaks louder than before and after pictures. You can really tell a lot about a surgeon. I have 9,000 before and after pictures on my website, LoveThatFace.com. So when you're looking for a surgeon, you want to look for somebody with experience, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can get their cell phone, somebody that does a lot of the surgery, a lot of the procedures that you're looking for, and somebody that has a lot of experience and can prove it to you, showing you cases. The last thing I want to leave with you before I show you this video is, I get all the time people calling or asking or emailing or YouTubing, about this facelift, the ponytail facelift, the quick lift, the lifestyle lift, the vampire lift. Listen, there's a right way to do a facelift, and it hasn't changed that much in 100 years. If you look in the old textbooks, some of the surgery we do today is still the same. There's no magic. There's no facelift's going to heal in 3 days and give you a natural result with longevity. So to have a safe, natural, effective facelift, you have to do surgery, all right? And I would always beware of any facelift that's named after a thing or a person, all right? So if I had the Niamtu, mega micro lift or whatever, you should be suspicious. And, all these other things. Most patients, they want a facelift. They want safe surgery. They want a natural outcome. So do your homework. Also, there's a lot of confusion about deep plane facelifts, mastectomy, mask plication. What's important is this. that your surgeon, regardless of what technique that he or she uses, that they do safe surgery and have natural outcomes. And don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you have to have a deep plane facelift or you have to have, this kind of facelift. What works well in the hands of the surgeon that you have confidence in, that you trust, that does safe surgery with predictable outcomes, it doesn't really matter the technique they're doing. It's what they achieve, okay? And the average life of a facelift should be, 10 years or so. I mean, I have some patients that I did 16 years ago, they still look good. I have an occasional patient that at 8 years, they're starting to get a little bit more skin, they may need a touch up. And a lot of it, you could have the best surgeon in the world, you could have the best patient in the world, but Mother Nature can intervene. So thank you for your time. Watch this video. We're going to talk a little bit about how you could see what you may look like with a face and neck lift. I'm Dr. Joe Niamtu, LoveThatFace.com. So the situation with jowling, when patients sit up, we can see this, and that's one of the big reasons that they'll come in for a face and neck lift. And even when you pull this back, if you're giving somebody an idea what they may look like with a facelift, you can see that there is still residual jowl even when this is retracted. And that's what patients will be unhappy with. And part of that is jowl, totics mass, excess skin, and buccal fat pad. So a facelift above the jawline does this. It resets these tissues. It really doesn't do anything a lot for the corner of the mouth, but it helps the jowl and gives a little bit of cheek augmentation. And then under the jawline, tightens the skin here. And if you lay a patient back and retract them, every inch that they go back takes off about 2 years, I think, here, tongue in cheek. But ask a patient to put their chin up, and I really think that from here to here, that's the result that they would get with a facelift. Jawline improvement, neck contour improvement, and they would not get this much cheek augmentation, but that's pretty much a good prediction right there. So when the patient's lying down, I think this is a pretty accurate prediction for a facelift. And I explained to them that the facelift is effective from here to here, and it doesn't do anything here in the central oval. So it's not going to help anything in this area. And I explained further that if you try and make it help the corners of the mouth, that's when you get some of these weird looks after facelift. So what does it do? It defines the jawline and it gives back the neck contour. If you ask the patient to put their chin down, bend their neck down, all this skin, now put it up again, all this skin right now is sitting here, but in reality will come off behind the hairline. So I think that's a great prediction with one caveat. The cheeks are bigger when a patient's lying down than they would be at facelift. So you have to tell them their cheeks wouldn't be that big. So when I'm talking to a patient, what does a facelift do? Well, above the jawline, it does this. So it improves the jawline, it improves the jowl, they get a little bit of cheek augmentation, and it has some effect on the nasolabial fold and corner of the mouth, but not an extreme effect, and you have to let them know that. Now, one thing, even when I retract this, there's still extra jowl here, and that's what will plague patients after their facelift. You can see this, and that's a product of excess skin, totics mass, buccal fat, and subcutaneous fat. So that's why we have to do something extra in this area. So I explained to patients that above the jawline, the facelift is going to do this. Below the jawline, it's going to do this, and kind of in combination, it's going to do this minus the thumbprints.